Welcome to episode 175. Genius, take the wheel. If you're part of the replay gang, salute, thank you very much. If you find value in my content, because it's free and it's helpful to me. And here comes Mrs. Evil. Very nice. All right, so welcome. JL, what's goody, buddy? It's good to see you. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's been quite the wild ride. It's been quite the wild ride, y'all. This week. Let's see if I can get through here.
On my side.
Because that guy behind me was about to be like, nope. The car guy, how you doing, man? JL, not a Yankee fan. So we can get that out of the way right now. Not a Yankee fan. By any stretch of the imagination. But I do kind of mourn the health of professional baseball in the United States. I never think it's a good idea for a champion to be crowned in the off season because they purchased all the league's good players.
The car guy is in Miami.
Oh, the car guy is in the United States. Cool, man. I hope you're enjoying your time. We normally enjoy our time when in Miami. I hope you're enjoying your time, man. There's an Aston Martin up there. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Yeah, JL, we're in New York City. Come on, you know that. Not a Yankee fan. But I do mourn the state of the of Major League Baseball right now. If we're still sitting here 5 years from now and the Dodgers won, 4 or 5 championships in a row, it's just not good for the longevity of the sport. It just isn't. We basically had the Dodgers pay $70 million for a DH, a guy that plays 11 to 13 minutes a game, and paying $70 million. That's you're going to have players who play more of the game who are going to demand $100 million a year and $1 billion a year contracts. And what that does is it removes the fans from being able to afford the sport. And if people can't afford to go to ball games, and we're already seeing the death of the regional cable network deal, which these franchises were able to use to bankroll the $25 and $30 and $35 million a year contracts they're now, you know, the regional networks can't afford to broadcast the games anymore. So where is the money going to come from, right? Well, they think the money is going to come from you, and I just don't think it's a good thing. It's just not a good thing for the sport. So, in TSP, Captain Paul and I made a video about the fact that we believe that the Pete Rose 2.0 contract was not a good contract. 10 years, $700 million for a guy who may never be able to pitch again. So he's just a DH. They paid $70 million a year for a guy that steps to the plate. And because they changed the rules on stolen bases and made it easier to get stolen bases, they're now propping this guy up as if like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. And he's not. He's just a dude that is addicted to gambling, that, is a better hitter than most. But, I mean, he's not like he's batting 400 like Ted Williams. I mean, the guy has a decent batting average. He has a lot of power from the left-hand side of the plate. That's all cool. But to pretend like, this guy is worth that money, it's insane. It's just not. And, again, if you're a fan of the sport, do you want to pay, $22 for a soda? Do you want to pay $22 for a hot dog? Because that's what's going to be next. And I understand that Dodger fans feel like, hey, we won the championship. We're going to celebrate. Do your celebrating. It's cool. That's cool. Like, be happy that your team won. But when your team continues to buy all of the league's last 3 or 4 MVPs, and then and then you're playing, I don't know, some shitty team. You're playing the Oakland or soon to be the Las Vegas Athletics on a Tuesday afternoon, and it costs $350 a ticket. And it's not worth it financially for you to go to the games anymore. Are you going to be as happy? Right? Everything seems good in the here and now. But are you going to be cool with that when the chickens come home to roost? So, if you are a Los Angeles Dodgers fan, you got what you paid for. Cool, right? There's no magic in the 2024 Dodgers. You guys just bought a few. You have 3 MVPs on your roster. Like, if you didn't win, it was going to be a problem, right? So you can't. I don't know. And I talk to people. As a Mets fan, we have the richest owner in all of Major League Baseball, in Steve Cohen. The .72 hedge fund guy. And I had to tell somebody on the TSP channel, if we go out and get Juan Soto and two frontline pitchers and, a lockdown 7th and 8th inning guy, and our payroll is $380 million a year, and we win the championship in 2025, I'll be happy, I guess, in some fashion, because the Mets have not won since I was 3 years old. But will I be like super proud if they won the championship after they basically just bought it? No. There's no magic in that. It's kind of like if you're an everyday guy and you catch the eye of a supermodel, your chest is going to be puffed out, right? But if you had to go and earn, $8 billion for her to recognize that you're a human being that exists on the planet, is it really that exciting? I hear a lot of rich guys talk about their dealings with women, and they get bored with these women very, very quickly because, there's no magic. There's nothing really great. We know that the woman of that caliber wants a super rich guy. Like we know this, right? But you know, if you listen to if you listen to a lot of talk these days, none of them are excited by their dealings with women because they know why the women are there. There's no magic. That's why it's part of the reason why I've been infatuated with Mrs. Evil all these years. To have like a woman that I'm really attracted to, be there when times weren't so great. There's magic there, you know? If the Mets would have won the World Series this year, I'd be in a constant state of bliss because, we took a bunch of players off the scrap heap and we had a bunch of players that struggled and, they picked themselves up and, they, you know, guys who you wouldn't think would, be clutch in certain situations, they were clutch in those situations. So if the Mets would have won this year, I would have been like head over heels. If they win next year, it'll be like, okay, cool. We got what we paid for. Like there's no magic there. So, if you're a Dodgers fan, thumbs up. Do you? I hope you enjoyed the parade and all of that goodness. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe you'll go out and buy another MVP or two, and maybe you'll win the World Series 8 years in a row. And by the time you get there, you'll be fucking bored with the team because there's really no, like, well, where is the novelty? Where is the where's the magic? There's no magic there. So enjoy it. Um, I hope the Mets win next year, and if they buy it, I'll get a championship hat and see what happens next the off season after that. But I definitely will not be like, oh my God, my dick is so big because my team bought a championship. Nah. Nah. All right. What are the comments saying?
First one going up right here to our guy being in Miami.
Okay.
Guess what?
Chicken broth.
I drove to Miami with a 1,000 horsepower Passat. He says that he also saw a BMW i8 that reminded him of a rapper.
Oh, yeah. I just saw an i8 on my way back to my car, actually. I actually saw a BMW i8 walking back to my car. Yeah.
JL says, I think this is the part where you were talking about Ohtani and them, basically purchasing the earlier part of stuff. So it's like the NBA from 2015 to 2019.
I will say no, because in that time period, the players that the Golden State Warriors used in that dynasty, they were all players that they drafted. They drafted Steph Curry. They drafted Klay Thompson. They drafted Draymond Green. Like all of the important players, Harrison Barnes. All of their important players were homegrown. And then they played so well together. And it was like, oh my God, this is so great. But then they went out and got Kevin Durant. And they went from the NBA's darlings to like, oh, okay, well, if you don't win the championship, you're fucking bums. And they ended up going 73-9, broke the NBA record, didn't win the championship, and they still get clowned for it, right? So, when people, and when Steph Curry was drafted, he was having all those ankle problems, and he was undersized, and even if he tried to play defense, there was no way he was actually going to be a good defender because he was too small and too skinny and too frail and too this. And nobody knew what Klay Thompson was until, they looked at him as this, like, spot-up jump shooter. And then they implemented this motion offense, and they became the darlings of the league, and they actually changed the way professional basketball has been played for the worse. Now everybody's standing out by the three-point line. So everybody loved Golden State when they were the darlings, and now they're just kind of like, they're not they're not really loved anymore. Let's put it that way.
One question. You already answered the question, but I'll read it anyway. Jay was asking if the Mets did it, would you defend it? Meaning, if the Mets also bought the
No,
championship.
there would be a small defense in that this is now the market that has been set, and so you have to play within the market that has now been set. We got Juan Soto, who is not a very good defender, but at least he, at least he plays both sides of the ball. He plays defense and offense. He's not very good on defense, but now you got a guy who, if we're really, really, if Ohtani did not get that crazy contract, he'd be looking at 500 or 550. And now he might say, you know what, I want 701 million because at least I play defense. I got a higher batting average than him. And now you're going to have a bunch of, players now asking for $40 million a year because of where the market has been set. So I don't really, if you're the richest owner in Major League Baseball and you got a 25, 26-year-old Juan Soto who is going to be elite for at least the next 8 years, he might still be able to become a better player. Do you want to play against him? Do you want him signed by a division rival? Or are you going to pony up with that cash? Right now, Juan Soto is bludgeoning Major League Baseball from the Bronx, right? You got an owner now in Queens who's richer than the guys in the Bronx. What do? Do you continue to go with a formula that has not worked for almost 40 years? The Mets have not won a championship in almost 40 years. Like, what are you supposed to do? It's been like 39 seasons. Now you got to play ball the way that they want you to play ball. But again, if we have to go out there, get Corbin Burns and the dude from Atlanta, Max Fried, Juan Soto, and sign Pete Alonso to a contract that he doesn't deserve. If we have to do all of that to compete, and let's say we do beat the Dodgers on our way to the World Series, am I going to be like, y'all can all suck my dick, we won? No, I'll be like, well, we got what we paid for. I'm not going to be, I can't really brag about that, If, we had, some teams, we had the 2019 Washington Nationals. That team was butt. That team was ass. I think there were sellers at the trade deadline that year and then went on a run, snuck into the playoffs, and then won the World Series. That's some shit to be proud of. What is the car guy saying?
Back to his Passat, of course. He goes, so my Passat, I think he's talking about the one that he owns, his Passat. So my Passat has a C63 AMG German V8 with twin turbos and a really big flame tube. And they sound like gunshots.
Yeah.
And then he goes,
sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot one thing. The car is on Galaxy gas.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the gunshot sound, big flames coming out of the butt.
And I got beachfront property in Oklahoma to sell you.
I hope you're enjoying Miami though. That's really cool.
Miami is, we've been there a few times. It when you're not getting killed by mosquitoes, it's nice. But anyway, a quick autopsy on today's training. Things are getting better for me, y'all. Like I did some light barbell back squatting. I went up to 135 pounds today. Normally, I work at almost twice that amount, but I'm still trying to work through, the left quad tendinosis. I did 3 sets of 10 on the leg press at 225. That was smooth as hell. So the leg stuff was pretty smooth. I did I deadlifted just a total of 9 reps at 315, but I'm getting used to this new gym. I love the machines that are in there. I found that there are more machines in there. He said, "Yeah, rev that Passat." Oh yeah, okay. Uh, um, I did some shoulder work. They got some good shoulder equipment in there. Some of which I've never seen before, so I'm going to try it out later in the future. And I guess on warm weather days, I'll just try to I'll try to make use of more stuff. But yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, the car guy is
Yeah,
he's hallucinating.
he is. He goes, oh shit, the cops are after me.
So yeah, my quad feels healthier. I'm not gonna go crazy with the weight progressions. Um, I'm gonna stick to up to 5 reps per set. Go up little by little by little to get back to 225 to see how that feels. Um, Somebody's double parked here. Oh, great. Oh wow, he didn't try to block me. Wow.
I played louder yesterday.
We might have just went into Germany right quick. Uh, yeah. So yeah.
City louder. 2.6 million.
Yeah. It'll solve some problems. We'll have to go to work every day, but it'll solve some problems.
Be debt free.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty decent. I like I said, I am taking it pretty slow with the squat, but I am feeling okay, and I'm gonna continue to rest tomorrow. I got a vertical pull day, but I have to drive somebody to some place where they can go beat their feet early in the morning. Perhaps after I drive them to that place to go beat their feet, I'll just come back to the neighborhood, try to find a parking spot, and if I'm able to do that, I'll do my vertical pull work. I'll do my vertical pull work at this new gym tomorrow, and I'm kind of looking forward to it.
So, telling the story of his great dash from Miami to Las Vegas with his flame.
Yeah. I don't even think he's in the United States. I thought he was actually in Miami. But yeah, I'm changing up, my routine in life, and it definitely does provide a bit of psychological distress. But every change that I've made in my life, when why would you try to do that? Um, every especially with the blessings that I'm getting from this change, um, I I feel better and better about it every day. Dude, we're all in this traffic together, guy.
So the truck car in front of me is short.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Bro, the flame was so big, even the Supra left. Yeah. It is good to see you again, the car guy. The car guy, I was going to say you probably want to know this, but maybe you don't. Mrs. Evil and I, and the other Mrs. Evil, we have all but decided on our next vehicle, and it is a cousin of the Volkswagen. It is in the Volkswagen Auto Group. We are going to I think we've pretty much settled on getting an electric Porsche Macan, or the Porsche Macan Electric, next fall. So about a year from now, a little bit less than a year from now, we are going to try to get a, mostly fully loaded as far as the options that actually matter in a vehicle, not whether or not you have, Porsche labels all over the car or not, or expensive ass paint. We're not doing that kind of stuff. We are going to go with the electric compact SUV. So,
I thought you guys were going to buy a Passat. That's okay.
No, not really. Catherine Anna Hauserman.
Hi, Catherine.
Good to see you again. We were really considering that BMW X1, but what you're allowed to get in that electric Macan, that has the air suspension in it, an augmented reality heads-up display. This might be a car that we don't lease. Once I'm able to make all the payments, then we'll own the car. Hopefully the battery will still hold up in 5 years, and that'll cut down on some of our bills long term. Because I've been basically just trading in car after car since 2016. So 2015, actually, the end of 2015. So that'll be like 9 years of like nonstop auto payments, right? So it'll be actually pretty cool if, one less bill, So that's what we are, gunning for. And I think that we're feeling pretty good about that choice. So, this is what we're going to try to do, He says, well, I have 2 Volkswagen Passats that have the same upgrades on it. Yeah, so...
Can we shout out Sir Fernando, even though he hasn't been in the chat for a while?
Is he here?
No, but he will be in our state very close by tomorrow. So, whether or not
he's running?
Hears this, yeah.
Oh, he is running. Oh.
I'm kind of suspecting that that's part of the reason why he hasn't been in the chat, because when he was in the chat, he would leave a little early because he was training and he was on the trails.
It would be nice. It would be nice if we were able to get a burger together or something.
I know we had mentioned that to him before, because, but yeah, he had confirmed that he's running, and I had dropped the idea that maybe we can meet him at Expo.
Right.
But I'm going to guess that his absence is hopefully his absence is due to his training and not for something more serious.
Right.
So shout out to him.
Look at this expensive ass dog.
Good luck tomorrow. Whether or not you hear this message, just put that in the universe.
Yep. But yeah, I really like the...
He doesn't pay $100. It's all yours.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the leg press machine that they have in there. They have the lap pullover machine that I used in Germany. They're not the same one, but they have like an old school version of it. Which is, plenty good enough for me. I like their overhead press machine because it's plate, it's like cable plate loaded, but each side is loaded with its own weight stack. So it makes sure that when you are doing the exercise, both sides are doing their own thing. You're not having a bar that goes across where your dominant side can take over and do all the work, leading to more, you know, incongruencies and lack of balance. So I'm very happy with that. I am happy with what else? What am I happy with? Their deadlift area is really nice. Their bumper plates are really good. The roll collars that I use fit their bars perfectly. It looks like they got a place where I can do flexion rows. That's going to be cool. Their cable stuff works really well. Everything that I've used so far, I'm very, very happy with. Although I will say that it's a little bit of a learning curve getting used to the Smith machines for the overhead press because the bar gets racked in the opposite direction. So I kind of I have like a way that I normally use the overhead press, and their bar weighs less. No, it weighs 10 pounds more than the bar I use at home. But that bar still weighs 20 pounds less than standard bar. So trying to do the conversions, it's not that big of a deal, but it's still something that's a little different that I got to get used to. So, to be able to flex my left leg, left knee, and to have way less discomfort, the fear starting to go away, appetite might be coming back. I'm starting to get a little bit closer, to feeling good. So I'm kind of excited about what I have access to, and the only thing I really have to do is just kind of get used to walking the longer distance. And once I kind of get used to that, sky's the limit. So, things are feeling pretty good at this moment. I still have, a couple of loose ends I need to, clip off, in some old situations. But overall, things are working out pretty cool. And, just kind of remind you, yeah, that's true. The R35 is going away. Yeah, that is true. The car guy, they're getting rid of that. Sports cars in general are a dying breed. But I think that they are going to revive some sports cars when the economy becomes good again. But you know how it goes in waves. The new GTR is going to be electric, yeah. And but the thing is that the demand for electric vehicles is coming down. So I don't know if you know this. I don't know, or skeleton face. He was staring at my car. He would rather be in my car than his. The demand for electric vehicles has dropped to the point where Porsche just announced that they are seriously considering reviving the ICE version of the Cayman and the Boxster, the 718, the 718 Cayman/Boxster. They originally were just going to go fully electric and just say, you know what, every car we have, fully electric, that's it, that's all, solo, single, no Model S. Shout out to Black Rob. However, because the demand is waning, all of the German auto brands are starting to lobby their EU governments and saying, hey, I know you guys want us to be fully electrified by 2030, 2035, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work People don't want electric cars. They want internal combustion engines. That's it. They will accept a hybrid, but they don't really want to have they don't want to get inside of a mobile sardine can. And they don't care if, you can launch control your way 0 to 62 in 1.88 seconds. They don't care about that. They want something that evokes some emotion, and electric cars just don't do that, no matter how fast they are. So now Porsche is putting it out there that they may skip one model year and revive the gas-powered Boxster / Cayman. And we talked about, how I really don't want to give up this car, but I'm going to have to. I only have a few months left with this car. But, if it becomes more financially, possible to, do this, I can actually get the car that I really wanted the whole time, which would be the Boxster, the 718 Boxster, 718. So, going fully electric is something that we have a little bit of consternation with, right? But it does kind of fill me with a little bit of joy.
I take it as the next learning phase of our automotive life.
But I might still be able to get that Boxster in the future, because it looks like they can't afford, because as far as sports cars are concerned, the Boxster and the Cayman is why they can sell so few 911s. Because and most driving enthusiasts will tell you that the current Cayman / Boxster is about the size of the old 911. People want the size of the old 911. They like the mid-engine steering, handling dynamics and such, right? So, people want that. They don't want a big, getting bigger Grand Tourer. They want a real sports car that is, not, 5,000 pounds, regardless of how much torque and horsepower the car offers. So, I don't know. I really, really love having this car. I really don't want to give it up, but I'm resigned to my fate. I'm understanding what I can and cannot do at this time, and then just kind of looking to the future of what could be possible. Right now, I'm happy that I feel about as physically healthy as I've felt in years. Because I remember when I was starting to feel that, that's when the quad flared up. But now, like, my knee feels normal or close to normal. I'm using this time to improve my squat mechanics as I kind of slowly move up. And, try to get my strength back up, try to get to that 400-pound deadlift. And I feel like I'm in a place where I can actually get it done. So, and, it's kind of cheap, the price, I just saw that if you renew your membership a month in advance, they give you a free month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think you get 2 months free.
No, on the wall it says you get 1 month free when you renew 1 month in advance.
Maybe they changed it because I thought I saw.
I mean, they got all kinds of promotions and stuff.
Yeah, but when we went, I thought I said that it was 2 months free. But
Seemed like a lot of serious people. Obviously, I don't really have any friends there. There were a couple of dudes that were like, they give you a nod even though they'd never seen you before. There was that professional bodybuilder that walked by. He talked to me for about 8 minutes about what he does and his training splits. You could tell he loves what he does. So he's like cool. People actually for the most part, seem to rack their weights. People seem to be okay about sharing the equipment. It's not a bad environment in there so far. Just a little dark in there, but your eyes adjust. But then when you leave the place, you're like, oh, my eyes.
Yeah, no, I think having an environment where people are cool enough to just nod in acknowledgement, I think that's an excellent sign.
Yeah.
We don't need to be best buds or anything, just nice human beings. Just acknowledge the person that's next to you. Don't be a douche.
I'm going to end the stream on this story because I wanted to make sure I told this story. Don't be a dick, be a dude. It was Chris Griffin that was like, why do you always have to be a douche? So I wanted to tell this story. So I left the gym today almost blinded by the sun bouncing off the pavement. And, I'm walking back to the car, and these two Asian ladies like, hey, Midmo, what's up? So I'm walking down the street, and these two Asian ladies walk on my left side, and one of them goes lockstep with me, and she pulls like one of these, posing things, and she's like, what's your secret? What's your secret?
Aww.
And then the woman walking next to her, she was like, she's admiring you from the back. And I was just like, she was like, do you do these movements? I was like, yeah, I do all those movements, but consistency, I train every day. And, super, super nice. They went on about their way. But, that was very healthy for my fragile male ego that, because, my ego's,
You do have something to admire from the back.
I am a heterosexual male in 2024, which is reprehensible, and I should be executed, hashtag kill all men. So, she definitely pumped up my fragile male ego. And I do thank her for that because, I was just going to do so many horrible things to the rest of society if she didn't, That's what I heard anyway. All right. Wanted to leave you with that funny story. Guys, get in the gym. Don't believe the BS about dad bods. It's complete BS. Yeah, exactly. Even me. We are doing Filthy Casual MMA Watch Party at 4:55 p.m. So, guys, show up on TSP. Have fun with us. It's going to be really nice. I do thank you guys for all the support that you guys continue to offer on this platform. Things will get better. The streams will get better, more positive. I'm going to get more games. Things are just going to be good, I think. So, anyway, thank y'all so much for watching, and have a nice day. That's from the Hydraulic Press channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.